is a local. She is from Anderson Springs, from Middletown, and she has written this wonderful book that is available now for sale. Yes.
Forrest wants you to come.
I want you to
Can I get a little closer?
Yes. And then it's closer.
No, you may not. Sorry. No.
No, you want this. In with us? It's going to be a brief
Well, greetings. This is actually the first time I'm
Hello? Oh, okay. I think it's obvious I haven't done this very often. In fact, this is my first time. The book is not published yet, but I have preview copies available at my price, which is $15. It's called The Bohemian and the Abolitionist. It's a novel. And it's probably the first Civil War romance ever made that didn't have a Southern belle anywhere in it. But I started to write this because I have a picture of my great-great-grandmother on the wall that's a stunning portrait. And I was searching for the artist that might have done her. She was, a buckboard came by with faces. The body's already drawn, and you picked out the one you wanted, and they filled in the face. And it was an anonymous guy, but he was fabulous. So I started researching artists in the area of Hudson River, and I came across all these artists living in Greenwich Village, and I thought, this is 1860, and I thought, are they bohemians in Greenwich Village? And it turned out they were, and it turned out that there was a whole scene there, and that they were sort of communists. They were, they believed that marriage as it was at the time was slavery. They believed that factory workers existed in a state of slavery, and that, of course, they believed in non-coercion of any kind. When I found out that, I started researching. They were reading the New York Times, and at that time I could just read the New York Times. Like, you could just go online and read what they were reading. Exactly. They see the paper. And I found out that communism was a really big issue, and I hadn't known that before the Civil War, communism, which mostly was referred to as socialism, was a big issue. And one of the reasons was because, first of all, Karl Marx wrote for the New York Tribune. I guess you didn't probably know that either. But, which was a socialist paper. New York Times was definitely anti. So, the interesting thing about what the abolitionists were actually trying to do was they were into a union movement, a labor movement, and they wanted the factory workers to join with the slaves in a movement. And I will read a little bit of, my heroine is the abolitionist of the Bohemian and the Abolitionist, and she is giving a little talk just to her friends as a rehearsal, and it kind of captures the, I bid you good evening, Lillian began her speech, and thank you for your kind welcome, but I doubt 'twill be a good evening, for I speak not of this lovely night, but of the eve of war. I may be only a young woman, but I know that war is never good. Not a good evening, nor a good morning, nor a good day. In my opinion, and we ladies do have opinions. Here she waited for the laughter, then continued gravely, there has never been a good war, save perhaps our own dear revolution. But even all the sacrifices of that hallowed memory will have been for naught if brother takes up arms against brother and tears this union apart. I know you say, but what of slavery? How can such a vile institution be endured? And I say with you, it cannot. But were we honest and not hypocrites, we of the North would also end the slavery in our own house. Perhaps you say, but we have not slavery here. True, the African slave does not toil in our fields for bed and board, nor clean our houses. No, workers in the North receive a pittance for their hard work, not sufficient for bed and board, but are blessedly free to leave their employ. In that we are far superior to our Southern comrades. But I speak to you of Northern slavery nonetheless. Primarily, I speak to you of persons without property. Ownership of the land or business for which one devotes his labors is the only path to freedom. No other has yet been devised since that noble red man was wont to own all things in common with his neighbors. For a person without property, life is slavery. Consider again the northern poor, who often survive in conditions less healthful than the African slave must endure in his field. And not to own one's home means subjecting oneself to the whims of the landlord, often capricious and cruel as many slave owners. And here she begins to sing a song. Oh, the factory shut its gate, and the landlord raised his rate. The almshouse is full and woe-begotten. I could go to Alabama and live there with my grandma, but you don't get paid for picking cotton. Oh, there's thieving in the street, and I don't have what to eat. The church gives me food that's almost rotten. I could go to Alabama and live there with my grandma, but you don't get paid for picking cotton. Oh, you don't get paid, you don't get paid for picking cotton. I could go to Alabama and live there with my grandma, but you don't get paid for picking cotton, kind of thing. So that was definitely a marks in the Communist Manifesto.
This ain't gonna work for me.
There's no wall. Well, that says the canopy. Oh. So there's usually the canopy.
Right, very smart. Boy,
find you?
We
I
just
thought
came here.
they must have gone here.
I was
And then
being
came
very
in,
nerdy and
very
asking about
sunburned.
swords and
Did they say that?
He said that the design was on battle swords and address swords. He's thinking more it might be the weight with the address sword.
Oh.
It's not a very long sword, so it's not very good. He's saying if I go to Virginia City, I should take it
And ask.
show me. I think he was ready to stick me in uniform.
He was. That was
Yeah,
so funny.
he's like, I think one thing.
I
He said, oh,
wonder, wonder what you said that like provoked.
I don't know. I just went up and said I was talking to a lady about volunteering for reenactments. And he said, oh, I'm not sure. He said,
I bought a fight.
You didn't take some pictures?
I know.
You should stand at the fence, baby. None of them are falling down.
Maybe he's good.
And put it on your sunburns. Take the starring away.
Quickly!
two of them.
Jacob, wide angle, close-ups.
Little medic. He's gonna die. No. Okay, there was one guy on the near side that I rather like. His fabulous jacket, yeah. He kept checking all the men. I did like him. I didn't like the guy. He's the one that took care of, like, saw that a couple of them were dead. He took like their pictures and made sure they would look their resting. VIP. Maybe there's so many. See? Come back. I really like when it's open. Oh no! Your plug's not either. I think he did. It was weird. This is for someone who's like, well, he might not be in this battle. Probably say something listen to that and then we'll know who he is. He might be in the flag. He had like
That was a good one.
he totally died. That was an awesome ball. He flipped. Oh, here they come. I've been making sure. It does, like, if you listen to it, and you could have really that.
There's somebody.
Is that him? Way down the line, or is that our Oh, the medic is dead. No medic! No medic! The medic is dead. The medic is down there. Hey, that's the guy I've seen he's a smaller guy too. He's gonna leave. He might be that little one. Like the other side.
Yeah, he's younger.
Also might not be out. He's sad. Or he might be way over by the cannon. Probably cannon just like oh, the medic is okay. He's really good at them.
Would you like some earplugs?
Yeah, I think it wasn't as loud on the line.
Encampments after the war.
At least got one more shot off.
He got shot off.
Oh, okay. The dribble position was on your phone.
I find that very comfortable. If you want to fall the other way. I told you yesterday. His arm being kept their clothes. That's a really long time. Why throw your life away? There's a little union guy. Somebody doesn't die. He's a little bit.
The one who was dashing around, checking all the people yesterday who died already.
Yeah, I know, huh? I like him the best, even though he's not our guy. He looks quite good. Oh, you guys killed him. That's so rude. Whoa! It went down again. The medic went down. He's gonna go dive hitting this guy. This is pretty cool. I didn't realize how he died till they didn't show it. Pretty frustrating. Who's gonna help there? There's a medic.
Almost.
Little medic. She's like yelling you to put the bag and leave it up. Look at that beautiful sweetbread. I told you, it's a beautiful sweetbread. Look at this. He did all he could.
Yep, told you there was.
Guess I figure we've got our ammo in there, might as well use it. I would. Boom. He survived until the last one. When he thought my birthday was done.
He might still be alive, just unconscious. Cannons are like, I quit this. He's down on the line of Damascus. You saw a cat, that's what I'm
What do you see?
They tried to negotiate surrender terms and it was apparently rejected.
Ooh, okay. So they're fighting again.
Yeah.
Can you imagine doing this for days on end?
Yeah, a couple days.
10 minutes is about all I can take. So I'll see you over the somewhere. I get my water.
6 hours yesterday and we came back tonight. You could tell her to step up her game.
Yeah, really. I think she was here last year, both days, if that counts.
It counts. It counts.
So she really just wanted us to come.
And, well, she wanted to, there was a possibility of them having it covered, but because
Yeah, she did the stranglers.
You'd never really wear the hat as it makes the outfit.
very true. I wonder if that would exactly have stranglers.
It's an earthquake, so you go back to different.
Unless they got everything
It's like a
required to be tested for them.
We don't want to come to
It just has a little spin. It's like, yeah.
Napoleon's Confederate. Before that, she was trying.
cannons.
How loud? Guys, stop firing the cannons.
No, he's holding the flag. I struggle with, like, I doubt they really thought this way. It seems so stupid, but it is, you know, like...
I was there.
You were there? Yeah. But it's like, why did you stand on somebody? And vice versa. I mean, that means, you know, it just...
Well, they didn't. So in the final agreement in the South, they did a lot more guerrilla warfare.
Yeah, right.
There's some exceptions.
So that's why, yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that's why it worked, you know, because, you know, this is plan long term. Again, why it's a revolutionary war in the way, because it's different tactics.
He just shot that guy.
What?
This is annoying.
Maybe I don't like
heck?
him as much this time.
No, that was a Union guy that shot from the Confederate dude.
I don't like him as much because he was the one that was standing behind
Oh
yesterday.
my goodness, there's still a Confederate guy standing behind that barricade, just like the last one. He was right in front of the Union.
Just wanted to let everybody know that Barbara White will be dressing at noon in the air conditioning room inside the room. That should be her I hope there's no one wandering around my life telling people okay, stop. Don't pull anything.
Just to let you know, Barbara White will be dressing
No, the actually
He didn't want littleness.
in the air conditioner room on one side of the match.
She's like, these strangers know.
No, we can play it.
I do understand. You know, in the presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday she had a
Yeah. Yeah. You're like,
It was good though. It was
Yeah.
Okay, now, Union, don't be a-hole and stop fighting again.
You guys don't like immigration.
The cannon gets so mad. They just want to
There's like a Confederate guy standing over this guy that got shot with two Union guys standing right above him. See right there? So this Confederate guy's down. And then this other Confederate guy's getting treated, but it's like,
they're letting him treat him, but it's not.
yeah.
They're probably cousins.
Maybe that. That's what
yeah.
they're portraying. They're not, yeah, it could be related, right?
He's like,
Yeah.
anytime now. Yesterday, I think Bloodless died on the field together, and that was really fun.
No, that's not,
Why they have attention.
oh, and then that,
Just saying.
This
or
guy, he was
because
just like, whatever.
that Confederate kid was like, we have a Confederate. And I just doing this. Like, that's my brother. Oh, yeah. That's my brother. Well, they did take a prisoner, and he's saving right over there. He was like, he actually like shot in the leg, and then he was like riding around trying to get back up. And they grabbed him and helped him behind the barricade, and made him sit down. And he was supposed to if I need to negotiate. And
Look, he needs to call me again. Okay.
The goats were down in the sheep house. So did you happen to bring your goats with you? Yes, I did. And so, would you answer this to me? This man's shirt here. And I doubt I'll have energy to go to it, and I know I won't have energy to drive home after, so it's right. You know, just the logistics of going straight to the horse from here.
Hey, you too. Good day.
Because the wounded people are up.
yeah, it is. I wonder if that's supposed to be Sherman. I think they're done for now, Grandpa.
Yeah, okay.
Battalion! Color! what we're going to do right now is the clear firing. What we're going to attempt to do is fire the entire 2 brigades as one shot.
Okay.
Pull it off is pretty impressive. It sounds like a popcorn machine like this.
Paper, take a picture. Paper, take a picture.
I don't want to hear anything. That's the computer.
Go ahead and take some photos. Jacob, go ahead and take some more photos.
What?
Take some photos of the big line out there. You want up over here?
This one?
Yeah. Get wide angle. Do a wide angle and just go ahead and take a couple of them when they all shoot together. They're all going to shoot at one time. Probably say aim, ready, aim, fire, or something like that. As soon as they say fire, that.
Shoulder when loaded. Officers and colors for the rear. Ready! Hey!
Jason, shoot it. Jason, Jason, did you get it?
I got it on video.
Jason, you can turn off the video.
Shoulder. Attention. Battalion.
Company.
Shoulder.
Shoulder.
On. In 2 ranks. Ready.
Like I said, we're militia.
Always keep the barrel up.
Bump your head.
Keep your barrel out of the dirt.
I would like to introduce my maid, Mrs. Lake. There is a war on. I've had to get the help I could get, so please pardon any faux pas we may have today or any little mishaps. One must make sacrifices for the cause, and we must continue on, but never losing our standards, of course. My wrapper is the beginning of my day. I am partially dressed. I could go downstairs in my wrapper and have breakfast with himself to discuss our daily diary, our calendars for the day, any little chores he may have thought of that he needs done, or remind him that I'm going to do certain things. I need to stay in his good graces because he is going to be the money behind my purchases. And of course, with each season, my dresses, my fashion. But then again, I am making the statement for the family. I am to dress to our status and our social position in the community. I am in charge. I am the social director of the family. I am responsible to make sure we are forever elevated. I make sure that my cards are received when I go out. I am received. I also have colors. So as I'm about to start my day, please note, ladies, striped socks. We have our little rebellion going here. Everyone join in the striped socks. Shoes are expected to, stockings are expected to match your shoes. So if the netherworld is exposed, everybody will think it's a high boot. But of course, this is our rebellion. We have striped socks. We embroider the sides of our stockings. I did do a little bit of modesty stocking for today to match. One mustn't be too brazen. It is the Sabbath after all. Yes. Yes. And of course, I am in my pantalettes and chemise. My first layers of my underpinnings. Square-toed shoes of the day. Yes, my underpinnings, my pantalettes and chemise. And my next layer would be my under petticoat. Oh, the corset, no, the corset, yeah.
Of course.
The corset's the next. Yes. I finally got her trained well.
Well, she couldn't get down there, but she was like hanging on to the tugging on the back of her, trying to get the strings.
The secret to getting the corset on is to get the middle, and then work both ways. If you're lucky. Get the hooks going. They have to go up and over. Yes. Big tree, these colors. Now, as you can see, my laces. Now we begin the lacing. All of my dresses are made to me. I have a dressmaker. She would be making all of my clothing to me in my foundations. You don't let your foundations change width or anything, then it doesn't fit. What you'll see is what we would call today a skirt and blouse, but it is considered a dress. During the war, pieces wore out. The men did not come home, the shirts and their shirts were redone. We now have skirts and blouses. The younger women were wearing the white shirts and the zouave jackets of their beaux in battle. The younger women. I'm more mature and I'm not quite doing that. But I will get here, as you can see. Turn around here.
Would you normally have the undergarment underneath the girdle?
Pardon?
Corset? Would you have the dress underneath the corset? Like
Yeah, I'm dressing properly. I'm dressing in the proper layers. I just got carried away with the corset. Can we turn the other way?
Yes.
Show. This side. And because I am a lady of means, you really do need help. Now, a lot of times women who had very generous and understanding husbands and limited budgets, she explained these things to him and he helped. This does take a minute. And actually, the corset is actually very comfortable because it will help hold my posture, and it will also help hold 10 to 12 pounds of summer clothing and 15 to 30 pounds of flannels and wools in the winter.
What do the summer clothes mean?
Cottons, linens, silks. Winters are wools, flannels, wool flannels, wool cottons, flannel cottons to insulate. How we do it?
Pretty good.
You're shaping up, very nice.
Showing it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We have to make sure I'm at my proper, otherwise my clothes won't fit.
Oh. One more minute.
This does take a few minutes.
Did you wear it?
Yes. Once you're dressed and work all day. You would have the fainting couch where you could loosen it and lie.
I think we're done. Nope. Oh. You can tell.
Yep.
Okay.
It's just torturous. I'm due for a new corset, so this is why one of the reasons it's a little bit harder and taking us a little bit longer. But no, this helps, keeps my posture, this helps, supports the weight of the clothing, and it just holds me in. This isn't odious torture, but I'm not going down. My name is not Scarlett O'Hara Hamilton, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to an 18-inch waist. I need 2 inches less to fit all the clothing over. So I'm going to a reasonable length.
Is that it?
I think so. That's better.
Shall we just check?
Yeah. Are you down low enough? On the waist.
Yeah, no, that's good.
It's 2 inches back a little.
Is that about right?
A little bit lower.
Lower.
A little bit, just a little bit.
That is it.
The longer strings on this are when I have to do it myself.
You could just lace it in the front.
No, but you would, a lot of people, you pre-lace and tie off so that you wouldn't have to keep doing it yourself all the time. There's a way to do this. Now we do the under petticoat. Let me take a quick walk down, you can see the lacing. And I'm gonna walk so I don't fall down. So you can see the lacings. All the way down. Pardon? Yes. I'm not sucked into it, I'm a soprano. And I really don't need the fainting couch. afternoon, you would loosen between dressings. As a lady of means and a prominent member of the community, I would be changing numerous times a day. I would have a day dress where I would be making my calls, making purchases in town, doing whatever I was doing. I might have a work dress where I would be directing the servants, maybe even doing some of the housework myself, getting the house in order for the day. Then I would be going out. I would be changing into a day dress. In the afternoon, I might be going for a tea or giving a tea. Then I would have a tea bodice at least. Change the top, my bodice, the front. Then in the afternoon, this is corset cover, an antique corset cover. That would go on next. Everything is washable, cottons, linens. Everything gets scrubbed on the scrub board. Boiling hot water, lye soap. Corsets are not. They're whalebone or they're steel. They're metal. This is metal. Mine is metal. So that it doesn't get washed. And so that it doesn't get washed, but you have to keep it clean. You keep it decent, so you would put a corset cover over, layers above and below to help keep it clean. But today we're just going to keep going. This is one of the flannel winter petticoats. This is one of my flannel coats, winters. So I would have flannel pantalettes and a flannel chemise to match. But the cotton flannel, a little warmer in the winter. And of course they do add layers, yes.
What happens with that corset in pregnancy?
As you are confined and you do not go out, you don't have to wear it. Your dresses are sack dresses, they're pin tucked. There would be slits for breastfeeding, nursing as you go on. So that was one of the reasons you were confined. You were no longer properly presentable to the public. And of course, in that delicate condition, the fantasies of the day, you didn't go anywhere. You were endangering the child and that. So this is a cotton under petticoat. It will protect me from my cage, which is the next layer. Now a cage, there are over 100 patents to the cages, the crinoline cages and all. This takes the place of 6 to 8 starched and ironed cotton petticoats or numerous wool flannel petticoats in the winter. There are over 100 patents for this. Some of them were gum tubed that held water so that should a lady catch fire, well, everything's open flamed. Candles, fireplaces, everything's open flamed. So you had to be careful. You would have a gum-lined pocket. We would call gum today rubber. Pocket, you would carry water to splash on yourself. Fire is the second leading cause of death for women. Everything's an open flame. And so here's my cage. I am metal hooped with binding. And then of course my eyelet lace is part of my petticoat that you'll see. So, you do have a little problem. We had a bigger owl yesterday. So, now we have the over petticoat. I do not want my cage to show through on my gowns. I must present and be proper. So I have the over petticoat, which you can see is panels of eyelet that match, so that it'll all look like one giant petticoat when I'm on. My office. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta restrain this one too. In my spare time.
Is this just style, this thing?
This is the period. There's an extra hoop in the Southern bells. Towards the end of the war, the Southern bells do not know it, but the fashion is changing to an elliptical hoop, an ovaloid hoop. So they're still in the bell shape. Excuse me a moment, please don't panic. There is not an earthquake. But again, the petticoat, cotton, because it's summer. I'm all cotton, linen, very breathable fabrics.
Was there an idea that it would help ventilate underneath, or, I mean, the reason why they have the hoops?
Fashion.
Just fashion, yeah.
Go talk to those stupid men. I can explain that in a minute when I get back. And here's the cotton. And legacy, and then with the bottom.
How heavy?
Pardon?
How heavy is the hoop part?
I don't know, I haven't weighed mine, but all dressed, I could be anywhere from 10 to 12 pounds easy, 15, depending on layers and fabric and the time of the year. I could be up to, in winter, with wools and wool flannels, I could be up to 30 pounds worth. So you carry it on the corset. The question was asked about bathrobes. My pantalettes. In stagecoach stops, the conveniences would often have hooks in the back. A lady could lift her day hoop, which would be smaller, and hook herself up and back up. My bathroom is here, as you can see. I have my chamber and my washing and the full accoutrements of my... A friend of mine brought this back from France, from the petticoat and the embroidery. They don't have garage sales, they have cleaning the attic. So, if you'd like to pass that around, you can look at it, or come up afterwards. Regard. My next is my skirt. Please note, real quick, I have a padding layer and ribbon for helping my skirt to keep it clean, at least to make it through the full season. The was horsehair braid in the day. But to keep it from going out, you had so many skirts and so many bodices for the day. Then you got a new season as the season and the fashions changed. So that by the time you were done, you were cutting the dresses down significantly for a younger sister, a daughter, recycling, depending on the fabric and all. The maid got a new dress. And plaids are a very popular fabric of the day. Plaids, paisleys, buttercloths. This is my first wearing of my new skirts. Please allow me to look a moment, please. My bodice. And I have dressed, this is silk. So I'm dressing up a little more for the Sabbath. The shimmy set, the sleeves and shimmies that we have for during the day, you're usually from the neck to the ankles, sleeves, and I think to cover anything during the day for modesty. But it's a little bit later in the day, and this is high enough necked. we're not going to wear that today. You help fasten me. I misbuttoned myself yesterday. Once you start the hooks, everything is hooks and eyes. The color combinations are very Victorian. Oh yeah, I'm going out. Or mitts if I'm staying in. Now for the rest of the dressing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If I'm staying in and receiving, I would maybe wear a day cap. Keep my hair clean. Well, as you see, I'm in a snood. Proper women, older women, never have their hair down in public. It is always up. It is only down at night for the pleasure of your husband. So I would have it up, snooded. I would wear a day cap. Again, to help keep the hair clean. And there's not much in the way of central heating, cooling, the winter, keeping the head cool. I might be wearing fingerless mitts while at home. I can still do my sewing, my needlework, as I'm known for my needlework. Fingerless gloves.
Would you have made those yourself?
I might have. Coarser winds crochet. I might have purchased these, as I would have probably purchased. But I do have some other that are coarser than that. I might wear my chatelaine from the French chateau, meaning the house or castle. These are my sewing implements. I do have a scent bottle. Keep the odors down even in the house.
You would put that around your waist?
Yes, it goes on the waistband.
And it would hold keys as well?
It would hold keys. It depends on what you put on it. This one doesn't have any keys. But they would have keys to the tea caddy, to the sugar safe. I might have a nutmeg grater on this. Nutmeg is very valuable as a medicinal and as a spice to control it, to make sure that nobody helps themselves to such an expensive item. I would keep the grater on my chatelaine. If I'm going out, I might decide this is a little low. I might put on an additional collar or a fouche, which would be just something to help cover and give me a little more modesty. And going out, I would wear leather gloves or cotton gloves for church, or leather gloves if I'm going shopping, my market basket, cotton gloves or leather gloves. I would have a reticule. There's a few samples of other reticules in the back and the pockets. This is needlepoint. The American male referred to this as the ridiculous. A woman didn't have nothing, she didn't need nothing to keep it in. But we did have. We had our calling cards. We left our cards, we received cards. Part of the visitation, part of the social climbing. I would have spectacles. I would have a handkerchief. I would have at least one. Again, handkerchiefs. very ornate, very beautiful. Tatted, crocheted, embroidered. If I were to have the coughing sickness, I would embroider in red to hide as long as possible that I was coughing blood. What we call today tuberculosis, the consumption of the day. I might then need, depending on the streets and what the quality is, I might need my Tussie Mussy. I would put flowers in here so that I could wave it under my nose and keep some of the more offensive odors, the horse apples and other disreputable people that I would be forced to have to meet on the streets. After all, they are public streets. There's just nothing we can do about that. So we just keep the smells down. For shade, as I'm going out, I might also use my shade umbrella, my parasol. For my age group, more likely I would wear a bonnet going out. Straw for summer, cloth for winter. Then you would have a soft bonnet, wool, fur-lined, with a winter cape for a full winter. I might also wear another hat for shade. They're small crowns, so I would also probably wear a hat pin to make sure I didn't lose it. These are hats. This is an antique. This is a ribbon. These are all ribbons made into the flowers. So, can I answer any other questions for people? Yes?
How would you ride in a buggy or whatever with that?
Actually, it's easier in a coach than in a buggy than in a car. They're wider doored, and you just sort of collapse yourself in.
That's when you sit down.
Yes.
Can we borrow your chair? Actually, it is very easy to borrow a chair. You simply back up. You lift your hoops so that you're sitting between the hoops, bands, and you sit down. And if you work it out right, you can sit in two gentlemen's laps simultaneously.
How did people learn all this stuff? How to put on stuff like that? Like every young girl was...
Yes, every young girl, they started out with a sensible stay. It's a vest. Well, you had your belly button, your belly band. After that, for girls, you had your sensible stay, which was like a small vest. And over time, you would add slats to the vest. Then as she reached maturity, got old enough, then she would go into her first corset. So they were taught at the very young age, they wore what the adults wore. Their pantalettes were a little longer because it showed underneath their skirts. The skirts were kept short so that they could walk and not trip.
That's important.
Yes, little girls. Do look, do come up and ask questions. I'll be here till 3 o'clock, so I thank you all very much for your time.
And we have a minute, 55 minutes left on this film. So what's next? What's the last one?
We have like 3 more things, including 2 if you don't include the second battle.
No, we're not going to second battle.
So we're not going to the second battle?
No.
Okay. So
We'll walk down over by the tents and Hello. Yeah, I'm out here walking in the hot sun over to the military. Gonna check on the military, see what they're doing. We're at the Confederate now, it looks like. It was Confederate and Union, right?
Who?
I'm talking to Butch. Oh. So what's up? No, we're not that busy. We're just walking. Oh, okay, well, like I said, I'm out here in the field walking and holding on. So, not much doing. Okay, where you at now? Montana?
How you guys doing today?
Okay.
One of my favorite ones was somebody welcome to the camp on the 20th Maine.
Okay, Butch, we'll talk to you later.
And melted them down and cast them into like a little
Welcome. Welcome. How was the encampment?
Nice.
Is it nice out here?
A little toasty.
Yeah.
A little toasty to be wearing wool.
Yeah, let me.
We
Were they going for the next battle or something? Or practicing?
All I heard was,
Huh?
I don't know.
Sleep out on the ground here.
I think they're just going out to go practice or something.
Red Cross. I don't know if I got the jitter on or not. Yeah, there's a picture to take of that box. Army bread. We'll take some of the encampment. I'll let you do it and I'll close this. It's going to be hard walking around. I'll just stay in this one. I won't go over there. Grab one of that.
Of what?
Of that tent camp.
Which tent?
Oh, this couple in here. Use the telephoto also.
Wait, which one's telephoto? What? Oh, that. Okay.
Watch out, they might be recording or not. I hope not. Coming around your side. Damn thing ain't